Hello, Internet. How are we this evening? Hope everybody's having a fantastic Thursday. I ever tell you guys about how I did an entire stream without ever going live? It was awesome. It wasn't. It wasn't awesome at all. It happened though, and I'm super paranoid that it's going to happen again. It's always in my mind. There's Scarlett. She wants to say hi. Hello, Scarlett. How are you? Say hi to everybody. Were you napping? You were napping, and now you're awake. All right. Okay. Can you go lay down? Okay. Go back to bed. Can you lay down? No, it's not playtime. Okay, good girl. All right, folks. How is everyone? Hope everybody's having a fantastic Thursday. Got plenty of stuff going on in California. Danger, Wally World. How we doing? Nice to see you guys. You can confirm I'm live. Okay, thank you. Yes, that was bad. That sucked so bad. Yeah, I did the whole stream, and I was curious why the chat was so quiet that night. I just didn't get it. And I just assumed I was live because earlier on in the chat, I think Wally World and Terry were in the chat early on, and they said some stuff, and like a jerk, I just didn't even acknowledge it, and I should have, because turns out I did a whole show without ever going live. So there's that one, and then there's the episode with my buddy Roscoe, the lost episode that I had to take down because we had this. We said some things that, somebody wasn't too pleased with, and we had to take it down. So there is a lost episode out there as well. So there's a missing episode if you go to my channel. Anyway, all right. Hope everybody's having a fantastic evening. Got a bunch of California stuff I want to get into. I want to, at least once a week, try to get as many Californians on here as possible. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care if you disagree with me, if you agree with me. I want you to ask me questions, as long as they're in good faith. If you want to come in here and troll me, I'm probably just going to ignore you. But if you want to actually ask me tough questions in good faith and you want to get an answer from me, I will give you an answer on. If you want to ask me questions on homelessness, if you want to ask me questions on crime, anything facing California, any of the issues facing California and how I think we should solve these problems. And they're not going to be my ideas. They're going to be other people's ideas, that things that have worked, that we kind of all agreed on that work. Anyway, yeah, I would like that to be tonight. Maybe we'll do it Thursday night, every Thursday night. I would like to do just a California specific stream where you guys just ask me whatever you want and I will answer questions. But, I'm also going to talk about stories and stuff. So I'll get into the first thing. So actually, I don't even need to share my screen for this one. So this is just more shenanigans from Gavin Newsom. So this is from Proud Elephant over here, but I got a story from The Hill that I'm going to read. Gavin Newsom declares a budget emergency in California, and which is required to withdraw money from the state's rainy day fund, which is he just says what a complete total disaster California is. Worst governor ever. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree there. Casey Martin, how we doing? Hola. Nice to see you. All right, let's read this article from The Hill. So we had, you guys, Gavin was talking about this major surplus that we had. I believe it was we're going to have a $38 billion budget deficit this coming year. And we had a major surplus. We shut down everything, guys. And taxes, tolls, just toll charges. Something that dawned on me today, the city of San Francisco is a ghost town now. So those of you that don't know San Francisco or California, or even Californians that haven't worked in San Francisco during the week, it's insane. Well, pre-COVID, insane. It's an absolute madhouse getting in and out of San Francisco, finding parking. It's a nightmare. It always has been. And right before COVID, I mean, the city was bustling. The financial district for tradesmen, there was always work in San Francisco because all the tech companies are in San Francisco, not just tech companies, other companies in high-rise buildings. And companies are always doing tenant improvements. They're always moving walls around, changing rooms. So you got to move HVAC, you got to move speakers, you got to move lighting, you got to move switches and thermostats and all sorts of stuff. Everything has to change when they move stuff around. Always work. Not to mention, if you guys have noticed, the San Francisco skyline has changed quite a bit over the last 10 years. All those buildings have work going on in them. Well, there's just a lot of empty buildings in San Francisco now because everybody can work from home. And so not only do you have all those tech workers that aren't in their offices that, would go out to lunch and stuff at lunch and at break, buy coffee from the local Starbucks or what have you, the local stores and things. Well, now all those construction people, all the different trades. I was an AV guy. As the redheaded stepchild of the construction site. But, you got steel workers, insulation guy, and also high-rise buildings are always in different phases. You have different floors in different stages of completion. That's how they build them. You'll get the bottom floors that are like done, and then the top of the building still just it's steel girders. It's how they build them. They build them in stages. You build up. And anyway, there was always work in San Francisco. It's a freaking ghost town now. An absolute ghost town. So all those parking meters that aren't getting filled anymore, like you used to, there's no way you're finding parking anymore. Well, now you don't even want to park in San Francisco. You can easily find parking in San Francisco now. Nobody wants to because your car will get broken into. So where you had this bustling city before, where everybody was moving around, going places a million miles an hour, the city just had tons of people everywhere. Well, you sent all those people's home, but the homeless people didn't go anywhere. The fentanyl addicts, the drug dealers, all that, they didn't go anywhere, but they moved into all the little nooks and crannies. And now when everybody comes back, trying to go back to work, well, it's a different scene, isn't it? The financial district is a ghost town, except for the pockets of, you got closed stores, empty buildings, addicts, and homeless everywhere. Well, this is what happened. So now all those people that were spending money in the city, paying taxes to the city, paying taxes, sales tax on every sandwich they buy, every cup of coffee they buy, every parking meter that they pay, etc. Spotlights. If we lose California, we lose America. I agree. I 100% agree. This is the ideology that's infiltrated California that has seemed to take over, even though we all know it's just San Francisco Bay Area, LA, and super woke pockets. Everywhere else is red, pretty much, in California. This ideology, the same ideology, is taking over everywhere. It's infected every single state. Everybody, even New Hampshire, even you guys, even you free state of New Hampshire, I guarantee you guys got wokeness infiltrating your state. You have to stand your ground. There's no running from this crap. So that's why I'm staying and fighting here. But anyway, all the parking meters, the toll fees, the parking tickets, all the money that used to be generated, that the city, just the city of San Francisco, the state of California, all that money's gone. It's all gone. Not to mention all the small businesses that closed down. All those small businesses were paying taxes and generating taxes with every meal they sold. We destroyed the California economy. Gavin Newsom destroyed the California economy. He really did. Building materials, they're just the cascading effect. I'm not even going into all the different ways that these lockdowns cascaded into different little things that affected the California economy. It's pretty awful. Wally World traffic, traffic's lighter. It's picked back up, but I don't even know if I would say traffic's better because it seems like everybody's gone mad. Like I used to drive, from my house to San Francisco, even during COVID, and it was nice because there was no traffic. But so I would, I'm in the Santa Cruz Mountains. It was a 2-hour drive each way, guys. It was rough, but I would do it a lot. Drive to San Francisco, Santa Cruz, San Francisco, and back. And it was rough. But now when I get in my car and drive places, I swear people are batshit crazy, even more than they were. I don't know what's happened. It seems like everybody is absolutely batshit crazy now. Anyway, we got a major budget shortfall coming, and they got to figure out what they're going to do. So Gavin Newsom's doing this. So this is from The Hill. This is from it's from the 10th. Yesterday. Written by Sharon Udison. Sharon Udison. All right. California Governor Gavin Newsom has proposed dipping into state reserves and cutting some spending with the goal of narrowing an anticipated $37.8 billion budget deficit in this coming year. Our state is strong. Oh, okay. I screenshotted. I clipped this speech he did yesterday. God, he's so impossible to listen to. He's such a gaslighter. Casey Martin. I was a super commuter, Sacramento area to the Bay Area for almost 10 years. It was brutal. Yeah, that's my buddy does that once a week. And it kills him. He does it once a week from from Granite Bay all the way to San Jose. Lori McKay, lifetime Southern California, and appreciate your hard work. Most importantly, we need to clean up our elections so they are fair. Thank you, Lori. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, we need to. I don't know how to clean up our elections. It's so insanely over the top. Before Santa Ana decided the other day, hey, we need to let illegal immigrants vote in our local elections. Before that happened, our elections were already completely out of control. With the universal mail-in ballots, it gets sent to everybody. Everybody gets a ballot. As long as if the DMV has information on somebody, they get a ballot. And I found this out. I found this out yesterday, I think. So all you have to do to get a ballot, so you can go get ID, right? If you're an illegal immigrant, you can get California state ID if you're an illegal immigrant. To register to vote, all you have to do is check a box that says I'm a citizen. They don't check. They don't verify that you're a citizen. You just check a box. You get a ballot. Fact check me. Put a community note on this one. It's insane. California elections are they're over the top. So people are probably like, well, what are you even running if it's rigged? Well, why not? And so you can only cheat so much too, because you can only have so many registered voters. So if a candidate gets 80% of the vote, they're going to win, even if the other person cheats or there's cheating across the board. They're going to win. I would say even 70% of the vote. So that's what I'm going for there. 70% of the vote, 75% of the vote, just to be safe there. How's that sound? All right, keep reading this article. So Gavin Newsom says, our state is in a strong position to close this shortfall while protecting key priorities and programs that millions of Californians rely on, the governor said on Wednesday in a statement. Earlier in the day, Newsom presented his $2.91.5 billion state budget proposal for the fiscal 2024 year, which began on July 1st. Within that proposal, a $37.8 billion deficit that is higher than last year's $32 billion deficit, but lower than the $68 billion predicted for 2024 by the legislative analysis last month. It's funny is I'm surprised Gavin Newsom didn't spin that into saying that they were actually, $31 million ahead, because they expected to have a $68 billion deficit, but they only had a $38 billion deficit. So I'm surprised he didn't say, we're actually ahead by 30 billion. I'm surprised he didn't say that. That's such a Newsom thing to do. I value their work, Newsom said, referring to the December assessment. We just are a little less pessimistic than they are about the next year. The governor began his presentation by introducing its narrative as a story of correction, a story of normalization after a period of tremendous amount of distortion. That distortion has been represented in the revenue collection in this state, he said. The governor's plan to close the deficit includes withdrawing $13.1 billion from the state's reserves while leaving behind a substantial $18.4 billion in the stockpile. See how they're trying to really soften the blow there. The governor plans to close the deficit. The governor's plan to close the deficit includes withdrawing $13.1 billion from the state's reserves. They could have just stopped right there, because that's a pretty big deal. We're withdrawn from our reserves. B1800, how you doing? Nice to see you again. He shut down the reparation BS. Well, yeah, but that whole thing was a freaking scam, distraction, way to pander to that audience anyway. They were never going to do reparations. Never. They were never going to do reparations. They created this committee. They did this whole dog and pony show to say, look what we're doing. We're talking about reparations. Look how wokety woke we are. And then nothing ever happened. Of course, they were never going to do all that. And look how much money they wasted on that giant committee and all that time that they wasted and all that, tax dollars that they wasted on that sham of a reparations committee that they put together. And then the number that they came up with was just so absurd. It was hilarious. It was like I think it was just for San Francisco too. It wasn't for California. I think, correct me on this if I'm wrong, but I think it was just San Francisco. And it was like every black San Franciscan that's been in San Francisco for longer than 10 years, that's over a certain age, gets like $1 million. It was insane. It was bonkers. California's never had slaves. Like this is it. None of it made any sense whatsoever. But yes, Gavin Newsom did shut down the reparations, but that's because he never had any intention of it going anywhere. It was just a giant dog and pony show. That's all it was. Danger, you should ask Senator Laird on your show to ask him some questions or see if he'll debate you. Somebody's already trying to set up a debate with us. Don't worry, I already got somebody in his ear. My lawyer, Tracy Henderson, she's become my homie. The person that went on Tucker with me way back in the day. Like, it's crazy. It was so long ago now. It was almost a year ago exactly now that she went on Tucker with me. She's like become a friend of mine. Her and her husband, they're fantastic. They're hilarious too. But she knows people, man. Like, she knows people. So she's she's in his ear. She's trying to get me a debate. I was just on Mama Bear Radio in Santa Cruz, and we're trying to line it up. He's not going to debate me. There's no way Laird will debate me. I will rip that dude apart. Scarlett, be a lady. Oh man, if you guys knew what my dog was over there doing right now, that was bad. That was gross. Gosh, bad dog. All righty. Crypto Bay Max, Chairman Newsom has ruined the state. Chairman Newsom. I like that. I like the ring of that. That sounds funny. Okay. Let me keep reading this article. Okay, this is where I'll read the sentence again. The governor's plan to close the deficit includes withdrawing a $13.1 billion state with. I'm sorry. The governor's plan. Can you guys tell I drank a bunch of caffeine before this? The governor's plan to close the deficit includes withdrawing $13.1 billion from the state's reserves. Could have ended it there, but they go on to add, while leaving behind a substantial $18.4 billion in the stockpile. Don't put the sugar on the shit. That's still shit. Newsom produced spending cuts that add up to about $8.5 billion, including $2.9 billion in the climate sector and $1.2 billion in housing programs. Well, you know what? Okay. I'm like, I say cut the climate sector. My proposal to make up for this giant deficit is at least put out some feelers for, does somebody want to buy our high-speed rail project and try to recoup some of that money we've lost on that project. The project will still ultimately get done, will probably get done faster, and it can be privatized at that point. Let's wash our hands of it as a state of California. That would be my suggestion. At least see if there's a buyer out there that would take on the high-speed rail, complete the project, and try to recoup some money there. And yeah, shut down the windmill projects, all of them, all your garbage windmill projects. Let's turn back on the oil pumping machines, shall we? Let's fire back up the oil derricks. Yeah, we're still all the fuel, all of the crude oil that California still consumes. Because let's not pretend that we don't. Let's not pretend that California doesn't consume gasoline. Okay, we do. We consume gasoline here, and we're paying about $5 a gallon for it right now. That's insane. We have it under our state, all of it. I'm not proposing that we, go back to the 70s and produce way more than we need, even though we need to turn the oil derricks back on. We need to start refining our own oil again. We need to go nuclear. There's things that we can do to turn our state could make so much money just off of the natural stuff that we have here. We're right on the coast. we're set up for nuclear. Sorry, I'm getting all triggered. Danger. Chairman Newsom is the perfect nickname. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, Casey Martin, the high-speed rail was always a laundering grift. I agree. The thing is, I actually want to see it completed. Some people might get mad at me for saying that. I don't want to see tons of more taxpayer dollars going towards it, but I do want to see the project completed at this point. It's such a giant project, and it would be cool. That would be freaking cool if you could get from San Francisco to LA like pretty quickly. I mean, if you could do a San Francisco to LA and back day trip, and I mean, that really, Californians know what a big deal that would be. All of a sudden, you can be, I mean, I don't know what the trip time would be. If it's a 2-hour train ride, that's insane, you guys. That would be really insane. If you can get from San Francisco to LA in 2 hours, yeah, you've really, I mean, it opens up a world of possibilities. So I really would like to see the high-speed rail done. Crypto Bay Max, the Vegas to LA project is the first one to happen. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm down with that. Like, I'm all about high-speed rails. I'm just not all about robbing people of their hard-earned money to pay for it. Casey Martin, we need gasoline. We'd rather crash the economy without gas. Yeah, no kidding. Force everybody to drive electric cars when we don't have the electrical infrastructure to handle it either. I'm not in SF, Crypto Baymax. I'm over in Santa Cruz. I love where I live. Yeah, I love where I live. V1800, I take that drive multiple times a year, and it's a five hours for me. Yeah, same. Yeah, it's about 5 hours. So, I mean, imagine if all of a sudden you could go to the train station and take a 2-hour train ride. I don't know how fast it would be. I'm just saying 2 hours. But, I mean, that'd be pretty amazing. Plus, you could work that whole time on the train. If it had, like, Wi-Fi the whole time, I mean, that's a game changer, you guys. That high-speed rail, it really is a game changer. I do get kind of excited thinking about that. But, it, like you guys said, it is a money grift. It's this thing's been, they've been talking about this since I've been a kid. Like, seriously, since I've been a kid. I'm 40. They've been talking about this since I've been a kid. So, all right. Symbolic T, Elon will find a way to do it. Well, you know what's funny is I brought this up over on the X platform, and some dude, well, people started really defending the high-speed rail project and talking about how Elon they're saying he tried to do something to not sabotage it, but like drive the cost up on it or something like that. I don't know. You know, Elon with the Boring Company and everything. But yeah, I feel like Elon, he's the first person that comes to mind to buy that sort of project, because Elon has everything to get that done. Like, he really does. He has the engineers. He knows everybody that needs to get it done. He owns the Boring Company, because yeah, there's tunnels that need to be dug. So yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Jeez, I gotta get this article. Let's see. The budget would also delay $5.1 billion across multiple categories, including $1 billion for the state's transit and intercity rail program. The governor also suggested deferring $2.1 billion to fiscal 2025, including $499 million in funding for the University of California and California State University. To help bridge the gap, Newsom proposed $5.7 billion in internal borrowing from special funds that would help support tax increases for health care organizations. The precise details of the governor's initial proposal are by no means final, as the budget tends to undergo several modifications between January and July. In May, what Newsom described as the budget's primary time, his office issues a revision, while a final version must be passed by lawmakers in the summer. I don't live in a bubble, I live in reality. I've been out there, as you know, making a case for this economy, the governor said. We're just a little more optimistic than all the naysayers, he added. He's such a gaslighter. So there it is, folks. I mean, it's no mystery why we have a budget shortfall. I mean, I'll explain just the San Francisco aspect of it now. You know, people aren't going out and about and doing things. Just the toll charges, the parking, the taxes that aren't being spent in small businesses, all the small businesses that closed down where they were paying taxes, and then everybody that went to those small businesses and purchased something, those taxes are now gone. It's a vicious cycle. It was a whole cascading effect from these freaking shutdowns. So that's what you get. That is what happens. All right. Casey Martin, California government is largely capable of these massive projects. All government, these projects aren't supposed to be for government. It's supposed to be government gets out of the way, and yeah, private enterprise does the rest. Yeah, he does live in a bubble. He absolutely lives in a bubble. Let's see. Crypto Bay Max. Chairman Newsom is destroying Northern California. Yeah, for sure. Well, he's destroying all of California. But yeah, he started in San Francisco. You know, he was the mayor when I was a kid. Well, when I was in high school, he was the mayor in San Francisco, and everybody hated him then. You know, his 10-year project to end homelessness, it just hit year 20. You know, it's everything he does doesn't work. Everything, literally everything he tries, whatever that thing that he was trying was geared to fix, it makes that thing worse. Everything. But somehow he gets richer and he keeps failing up. Like he keeps getting promoted. He keeps everything he touches, he destroys, and he keeps getting promoted. And that's the same for pretty much every California politician. They've got this place on lock. And yeah, you have to ask. You have to ask if shit's rigged. So, all right, let's go over to, let's go and share my screen here. Actually, I already talked about this one, so. All right, I wanted to share this quick clip with you guys. I just came across it. I was just doing some show prep, and I came across this clip of this old FBI agent talking about these crazy. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because of the tunnels in New York yesterday. So, yeah, this retired FBI agent is just talking about some craziness here. He's talking about child trafficking this is in California. So let me go to this here. Oh my God. Yeah, bookmarks on X act super weird now. The platform has really been acting silly lately, and I don't like it. Sorry, folks. It goes super slow when I'm streaming. Okay. Try this again. Okay. So this is from Wall Street Apes, and he says, how bad is child trafficking in America? Retired FBI agent Ted Gunderson talks about underground tunnels found at McMartin Preschool in Los Angeles, California. Dozens of children were sexually abused at the preschool. So let's listen to what this FBI agent has to say. This is like a 3-minute video here.
By the way, we found a 9-foot wide subterranean entrance under the west wall of dog room. There were 4 classrooms. That was Ray Bucky's room. By the way,
what up, B Sizzo? Thanks for coming.
Virginia McMartin and Ray Bucky were tried. Virginia, the grandmother, was acquitted. Ray had a hung jury. And we found these tunnels in the middle of the second trial of Ray Bucky. They could have been used to convict him. We called the prosecutor. He sent his investigator out, Mr. Perez. Mr. Perez told me, I don't want you entering in my conversation with the archaeologist. I said, why? He says, you're too argumentative. I said, well, okay, you go in and talk. I'll just keep my mouth shut. We went in, he talked, and he argued with the archaeologist. Here's an investigator not qualified to talk about tunnels. He said, there aren't any tunnels there. And the archaeologist, of course, argued. But anyway, they didn't use that evidence. Strong evidence in the second trial. They ignored it right in the middle of the second trial. I might mention this. The children identified professional football players, professional.
Crypto Bay Max, Alex Jones was just talking about this. Okay. That's all. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because those tunnels in New York. I just stumbled across it when I was just looking for stuff that happened in California, and I just stumbled across this. I mean, I definitely found it very interesting because, there's a lot of talk, not to get too tinfoily here, but all the child trafficking, pedophilia stuff talk. There's a lot of tunnels involved in this talk. With the Epstein Island stuff, you guys heard about the rumors of what is it? Is it the Epcot Center in Southern California? Like, there's a lot of conspiracy theories involving child trafficking and tunnels. So with and apparently one of those, I don't know if he's a rabbi, but somebody that was part of that, I don't know what you call that congregation. I'm just saying that as a generic term. I guess he's been linked to child sex crimes. So those tunnels are looking extremely nefarious. Those tunnels that were found in New York, and it looks like there's a lot of people involved in those tunnels. So yeah, that's why I'm talking about these right now. It's not to get too tinfoily, but folks, when we clearly see things, you got to point at them and talk about them. Like, why is this happening? So, okay.
Baseball players, household name actors, actresses, and the son of the leading politician, not a leading politician, the leading politician in Los Angeles as being perpetrators. Okay, we found.
Okay, you guys. So, I mean, this is from the 80s, right? That they're talking about this? And yeah, Alex Jones has been blowing the whistle on this with the talking about elite groups of pedophiles and human traffickers that do all these crazy rituals and shit and underground tunnels and secret societies and all this crap. And then they talk right here. This is way back in the 80s, how it's been linked to the elite. This is like, I believe this probably is like beginning Epstein stuff. We know about all the Epstein stuff. Now we know about all the Harvey Weinstein stuff. We know about the casting couch stuff. You guys, this shit is real. There's a reason that movie Sound of Freedom was so heavily attacked. The Pizzagate stuff just starts to look more and more real as time goes on, you guys.
Found an avocado tree root cut on both sides of the entrance, and I'll show you this in just a few minutes. The entrance to the tunnel, as I said, it was 9 feet across the tunnel.
Sorry, I know I keep pausing and it's annoying. So yeah, I know I'm running for office and I'm talking about things that are labeled as conspiracy theory and tinfoil hat wearing crazy nonsense. Well, if I get into office and I start seeing things that I didn't have access to before, that is crazy, nefarious, illegal shit that the public should know about, this is one of the reasons why I want to get in there. I want to see if I'm going to get access to things I didn't have access to before. And yeah, I want to blow the whistle on folks. I want to be a tattletale on these crazy psychopaths. I'm not going to say I don't care if they come after me, but yeah, of course it wouldn't be fun, but I'm in a good position to handle it.
And on one side was a live avocado root. On the other side was a dead avocado root. They had to cut that out. We have this, by the way. We found
I did an episode on Bohemian Grove, Casey Martin.
Plastic Disney bag, copyright 1982, about 4.5 feet below the classroom floor, and 3 to 6 inches in from the entrance and under the foundation. Now, the reason that plastic Disney bag is so important is because we think that they filled the tunnel in 1982 when the complaint was initially brought to the attention of the authorities. I said 83 earlier, it's 82 when the complaint was made. And when they filled it in, the plastic Disney bag somehow or other flew in there as they were filling it in and nobody noticed it. Now, who says there is no God, right? What documentation, fantastic documentation, that tunnel, the entrance to that tunnel, this is right at the entrance, was filled in in 1982 or sometime subsequent to 1982. Mr. Ken Lanning, the outstanding know-it-all FBI expert, behavioral science, says that I took that garbage bag in 1993 out of a trash can and placed it there, that I planted evidence. Of course, Mr. Lanning says there's no organized satanic movement in this country today. There's only a few dabblers here and there. Thank you, sir. We have another 3 hours to go. Okay, can you hang in there? Okay.
How have I never come across this video? I don't know how I've never seen this before.
The tunnel proceeded south, then 45 feet through classroom 4 and 3 and north, then 10 feet within the classroom 4. The tunnels were 30 inches wide, 44 to 46 inches deep, with the top of the...
You guys, this is so good. It seems like everything's just coming to light, doesn't it? Just like all the stuff that was always labeled a conspiracy theory. So much of it seems to be being proven true. Like I just had Ashton Forbes on my show, right, on Monday. And whether you believe the guy or not, talk like the specific talk about like portals, you know, the ability to bend space-time, if it's possible, to bend space-time and open up portals to another dimension or whatever. Having that conversation. First of all, that stuff's fun to talk about. It's just fun. I'm dumb. I can't talk about quantum mechanics, but I like to try. You know, it's fun. But the amount of people that immediately, like with vitriol, try to just disprove anything you're saying and try to shut you up and not let you talk about it. It seems very strange. It seems very inorganic. It's like, why are you trying to shut this conversation down so hard? We're just talking shit. We're just having fun. Why are you tripping? It's weird. And there's that kind of thing happening with lots of talk. And if you start talking about, you know, yeah, it seems that there's this highly organized child trafficking thing for the elites. It really seems like there's that. And there also seems to be like these satanic rituals involved. It seems to be that way. Shut up. There's no satanic rituals. There's no child trafficking. Shut up. Stop talking. It's crazy. Everybody flips out. You're like, you're a little extra, bruh. You're a little extra about this. Why? You're kind of suspect now. It's a little hinky. It's a little hinky, guys. All right, Crypto Bear Max. All goes back to the Anunnaki cult. You're talking about like the ayahuasca and shit and trying to convene with, yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys follow Top Lobster over on the X platform, but man, he's been sending me down a rabbit hole lately. If you guys, I don't even want to say it. You guys heard of the Nephilim? Huh? Nephilim shit? Go down that rabbit hole if you haven't already. So, yeah, some interesting stuff. The Sumerian king stuff. No, I am not familiar with that stuff. I've heard about it in the peripheries, but I've never gone down that rabbit hole. Blood magic books, the Sumerians. Nope, none of that stuff. Yeah, sounds. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go down those rabbit holes. Oh yeah, thank you, Casey Martin. Man, I don't even think I said it the whole show. If you guys could, if you're watching right now, can you just go and tap that like button on whatever platform you're watching? It'd be really helpful. It'd be great. It'd be a huge help. And if you guys are so inclined, I have a Give Send Go set up for this show, and you can actually see how much money this show's made since its inception. If you guys want to contribute, there's a Give Send Go set up. You can also tap that little button next to my name in the bio if you want to help the show. Retweet, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it definitely helps the show grow. This is kind of how I'm planning on beating John Laird, is by talking every night. So as my platform grows, the more I talk, the more people that hear me talk and interact with me. I don't have a budget. I can't, go put up freeway signs. I can't take out ads. I don't have a budget. So this is a grassroots effort. I mean, word of mouth, if you guys are, especially if you're in District 17, California, and you want to just tell a friend, hey, check this guy out. He's running in our district, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff helps. Word of mouth Greatly appreciate all you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Tap that like button. Huge help. All that stuff. Thanks for reminding me, Casey Martin. I'm terrible with this stuff. I'm terrible about, all that crap. Dwayne EMD Camacho. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. You ever watch ROTC Radio? No, I do not. Should I? Should I watch ROTC Radio? Crypto Mask, I'm too milk toast. Well, sorry. Tough. All right, let's see. Okay, I think we're all caught up with the chat here. So, Crypto Max, get out of here. I'm too milk toast. You see Tim Pool talking about satanic pedophiles and tunnels? Like, how many people are even talking about the freaking Hasidic Jew tunnels in New York found yesterday? Like, how many people are even talking about that? Don't call me milk toast. I'm running for office and I'm talking about this shit. Get out of here with that. It triggered me. Come on. It's that. You admire me over the Max and the Vax. Okay, great. I need to read more? Whatever. Get out of here. All right. All right. Let me get to this next thing I want to talk about here. Let's see. There's so many things that I'm not going to end up getting to. But these teaching requirements that I want to talk to you guys about. They're like lowering the standards for teachers to be able to get teaching credentials. So we'll talk about this really quick. Let's see. All right, sorry folks. Okay, so this is from my other homie that's running for the state assembly. Okay, so Newsom also proposes to relax some and so this isn't. I don't know if this is an existing bill that's out there, but this is from EdSource. I'll see where she's getting this from after I read it. Newsom also proposes to relax some requirements to become a teacher due to a persistent teacher shortage. Teachers candidates will no longer have to take a test or council work to prove they have the basic skills to earn a credential. According to the state's summary of the budget, the state will now recognize completion of a bachelor's degree as satisfying the basic skills requirement. Are you serious? That's all you need is a bachelor's degree to become a teacher? Damn, that's kind of crazy. Man, let's see. Casey Martin, you should get a California teaching job. Try repelling as many students as you can. No, they're not. They don't get paid for crap. They really don't get. Yeah, they don't get paid enough. I don't think you want that job. So where is she getting this? What is this from? So this is from Denise Aguilar. She's running for California State Assembly out in like the Tracy, Stockton, Mountain Home area. Why does it always do that? I hate the way Bookmarks behaves now. It does the same thing every time. You scroll down. I'll do it live for you guys. It won't do it this time because it's the second time I'm doing it. But every time you like go to your bookmarks, if you scroll down to one of the things you have bookmarked, like here it is, and I go to click on it. Once you click on it, it disappears and it brings you back to the top of your bookmarks. It's freaking annoying. You have to do it twice. Anyway, I'm just complaining now. So she says, if you're a parent in California with a child in public school, you may want to know what's in the summary of the budget report posted by EdSource. Gavin Newsom is lowering the standard on who has access to your kids. Okay, so this is part of the budget proposal. It's past time parents have a voice at the political table. Yep. So if I don't know if I've actually said this. So if you guys aren't familiar with Denise Aguilar, Informed Mama 209, so at Informed Mama 209 on Twitter. She's running for California State Assembly District 13, I believe. And she has my full endorsement. So 100%. I have her back. If she can get in the State Assembly and I can get in the Senate, there's actually a little bit of momentum there if we can get that happening. So yes, I would kind of like her and I to team up. Even if she doesn't endorse me, even if she hates me, she 100% has my endorsement. Even if she doesn't like me, she has my endorsement, whether she likes it or not. So yeah, guys, check out Denise Aguilar. She's pretty badass. All right, let's see the chat here. Danger, go to the Zoolander school for kids that don't read good. Yeah. I forgot about that. That was funny. The school for kids that don't read good. That was such a good one. I hate that Ben Stiller's so wokety woke because I love his movies. Like one of my favorite movies is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. It's such a good movie. And it has freaking Sean Penn in it. So yeah, he's the worst. What's funny is most of the counties are red in California, just not the population in big cities. Exactly. Yep. Casey Martin, you don't need to be paid. Well, shit. Oh, yeah. All right. Get your teaching credential. Get on it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. All right. So that was what I wanted to share. So it looks like they are lightening the requirements to be a teacher. Wonderful. How about that? Okay. See, okay, watch. It's probably going to do it again. I'm going to scroll down to the one that I want to share, and then it's going to disappear when I click on it. Watch. It's going to scroll right back to the top. I know it's going to do it. I know it's going to do it. Watch. Okay, so this is the video from Vigilant Fox that I want to share, and I'm going to click on it, and it's probably going to jump right back up to the top. See? It did it. I told you guys. You guys are witnessing a X bookmarked glitch in real time. So I have to do it twice. Every time I back out of whatever post I was in and I go back to my bookmarks folder, whatever story I click on, it brings me back to the top. So now it'll work. Now I clicked on it and it should open up. See? You just have to do it twice. I don't know why it does that. It's so annoying. Okay, so this is from the Vigilant Fox, and he says they told you to get the vax to not overwhelm the hospitals, but it turns out that was a big lie. Nurse turned whistleblower Gail McCrae says there was not one moment in Sonoma County, California, when the hospitals were above normal capacity in 2020. So let's listen to this quick video. It's like a 1-minute video, and I'll talk about this after the video. But you guys, during the first wave, or actually after the first wave, like, we started dating very early on in probably like April of 2020. I was dating a respiratory therapist. Like they're the ones that COVID was their thing. They're the ones that, when they talk about pulling the plug, well, they're the ones that pulled the tube out. They're the ones that intubate people. People that got intubated in COVID, they're the ones that died. So that's what I was dating at the time. And she was saying like, yeah, the hospitals aren't overwhelmed. She was like, yeah, it's, kind of crazy in the intensive care units and stuff, but they already operate at capacity. Like that's what they're meant to do. They're meant to operate as close to capacity as possible. So this isn't like out of the ordinary. Hospitals get close to capacity during a bad flu season. So let's listen to this chick talk. This Sonoma County nurse.
Okay. So how many COVID cases were you seeing at that time, in a day?
Definitely less than 20 for the first 9 months. During the winter of 2020 and 2021, we did see a few spikes. And I'll interject in a little bit here. It's not just my hospital. So as a nurse as a graduate from Cal State East Bay, I was friends with nurses all over the state. And it was, and especially nurses in Sonoma County. I had friends in hospitals all over the county, and none of them were full. I had multiple engagements with staff members.
Crypto Baymax, IBEW. I'm a sound and communications guy, so I'm local 595 sound and comm.
All over all of the hospitals. And in the year of 2020 in Sonoma County, there was not one moment when our hospitals had above normal patient admissions.
You guys give Vigilant Fox a follow. I subscribe to 2 people on Twitter. Vigilant Fox is one of them. He is awesome. He does great work. Vigilant Fox and Clint Russell over at Liberty Lockdown. Those are the 2 guys I subscribe to. I'd subscribe to more, but I'm poor. So, yeah. Great content, both those guys. Let's see. All right. I'm going to back out of the post. I'm just going to do the funny thing again. I should just close it and come back to it. Actually, I won't even open up the full post on the next one that I want to get to. So the next one's the Google stuff that I want to talk about. So last night, news of layoffs broke overnight when hundreds of Google employees lost corporate access and then received notice that their roles had been eliminated completely. So, okay. And when I first read this, I thought this was like localized jobs here in Mountain View. You know, it was, I thought it was like localized. Dwayne MD, she did leave you when you lost your job for speaking truth. No, no. No, it's actually worse when she left. That's why. Let's see. Yes, the executioner. Yes, what's funny is she actually called herself. She said, "Yeah, they call us the angel of death." That's what she said. She straight up said that because there was some serial killer that was. I think it was the guy that was like, I don't know. There's a serial killer that was a respiratory therapist apparently. Crypto Bear, you're pretty sure you could get me a 6-figure job in Southern California? Yeah, I sort of screwed myself running for office because now I can't even get work. Like I can't even get work at a grocery store now. Like no joke. Nobody will hire me. And what's the last place that turned me down? It was really a kick in the balls too because it was a Christian organization. It was an extra kick in the balls. That was rough. And they ghosted me just like everybody else. So like it was even worse because the interview went so well. They were so nice. I told them everything that happened. And they straight up told me there's nothing you said that would keep us from going ahead with hiring you. And I thought it was great. I thought everything was great. Nope. Ghosted me. Never talked to him again. Unreal. Learn to code wasn't such good advice. Yeah. Okay. So these Google layoffs. All right. So this is from Didi over on Twitter here. So he's a data founding engineer at Glean, formerly Google Search, Cornell. Okay, so he's got qualifications. Anyway, he says Google layoffs are not just assistant, but purportedly multiple organizations that total 1,000 plus. To 2024 is just getting started. Leads across Google are sending coordinated emails within their organizations announcing layoffs. They've all gone out in the last 2 hours or so. They fragmented the layoffs on purpose to make them seem more localized, but it's affecting the whole company. Organizations that I've heard of, I'm part of, that have been impacted so far include Ads, Search, Assistant, Maps, Android, and Core. I'm sure there are more, but I can't confirm. I can't find WARN notices yet, so I assume they haven't been filed yet in any state. So it looks like they're kind of trying to like stagger their layoffs to make it seem like it's not as bad as they really are. But yeah, no bueno. Crypto Bay Max IBW is bullshit. So get this. So the job that I was laid off from wasn't union. It was residential AV, but it was a pretty well-paying job. You know, I had a company van, company phone, company laptop, great benefits, well-paying job. It was good. Everything was good. And I'm not going to say the company name. I could put them on blast. There's no need to, though. They paid me. Okay. So I get fired from that job and I realized, okay, the residential audio video industry in the Bay Area is a very tight knit, like everybody knows each other type community. And I've been pretty much blacklisted in that industry in the Bay Area audio video. It's like, even if I get an interview with a company, things start going well, as soon as they look into my background, it's game over. Also, the company that I worked for, the three of the clients whose houses I was at all of the time, you know their names. They're very high level executives at tech companies, very high level, like the highest levels that you can get at really well-known tech companies that you guys know these people. Also, one of the blind investors for our company was a total AV nerd. He's like all into home automation and that stuff. He's all into smart homes, total AV nerd. Well, he was a really high-level tech executive, sold a company, a bazillionaire. Well, there was something cryptic that they said in their whole like back and forth when they had to ended up paying me, but they basically said, not basically, I can't remember word for word what they said, but it was something along the lines of how I've burned my bridges in this industry now. Like they made it a point to say that in there. And I can't say that I've been put on there's not some list. There's not some like AV blacklist, but in this industry, we're talking people that spend, they'll say, hey, I need a new TV and speakers in this room, and they'll drop 80 grand like it's no thing. Like these are our clients. It's very, very, very rich people. There's not a lot of them. It really feels like I've been put on a no-go list. I'm unvaccinated. I won't wear masks. I'm a conservative. Nobody will touch me. So I went back to the union. I go back to local 595 because before I got laid off for COVID, I was the head Apple guy doing conference rooms and all hands rooms and team rooms and auditoriums and video walls and that kind of thing at Apple right here in Cupertino. I worked for a company called AVI SPL, a very large commercial audio video company. And well, I was union. I was local 595 IBEW. I got laid off from that company during the shutdowns, and I was out of work for almost a year then. And then I got back with the other company, and yeah, so once I couldn't go back to residential, I decided to go back to the union, paid my union dues and everything. I've been on the books since April. No union calls, no job calls. There was, man, on Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday because I remember I was interviewing Ashton Forbes and I was like, crap, I got to be up super early. There was a job call. There was a sound and communications job call. I couldn't believe it. I'm number 8 on the books right now. I had a chance. Drive all the way there. I didn't even notice that it was a name call. I'm an idiot. I woke up at 4:30 in the morning to get to the union hall by 7. It was a name call. That means that a company, when they need a union AV guy, they put in a call to the union hall, and then the call goes out to everybody. And then everybody's, you're on a list. I'm number 8 on book 1 right now. And then they call one by one the names. And then if your name's called, you can say, I'll take it. I take the job. And you go up and you take the job. Well, a company can put in a call to the union hall and ask for somebody by name. That seems like that's like a lot easier. That used to be like a no-no. I don't know why that's so much easier now, but anyway, there's no work. There's no work at the union halls. A lot of it is, well, I was building conference rooms for big tech. Like that's what I was doing. Everybody got sent home. Those were our clientele in the Bay Area, was big tech. Google, Facebook, Amazon, all these companies, like all of their employees went home. They didn't need conference rooms. They didn't need video walls. They didn't need auditoriums. Anyway, yeah, my industry got freaking destroyed. So anyway, Google's laying people off, looks like. So that was a sorry, Crypto Bear, you got me off on a tangent there. Sorry about that. Let's see, check the chat. Casey Martin or V1800. I agree with Google. Their employers can't be trusted. You need to surprise fire them. Huh. Interesting take. Okay. So yeah, okay. So that's from Google. So that's happening. All right. Okay. Over in San Francisco, as you guys know, there is rampant crime, like all the time. Well, I should say rampant retail theft is what I should say. And you guys know, because it's of Prop 47, I believe it was, back in 2014, they decriminalized retail theft. Well, they made it a misdemeanor for retail theft below $950. So if you go into a retail store and you steal stuff worth less than $950, it's a misdemeanor. And the district attorneys and judges all said, we are not going to prosecute misdemeanors, thereby decriminalizing retail theft below $950. Well, as anticipated by many, this has had catastrophic effects on local retail markets in the areas where this crime is really bad. San Francisco being the primary example. So, well, they're losing another Safeway. and Safeways are kind of important. They got groceries, they got pharmacies, all that kind of stuff. Yep. Okay. Let's watch this quick video. So this is from Brendan McInnes over on, this is from KBIX Channel 5.
Residents here in the Fillmore district are devastated that they are losing their Safeway. They tell me they don't know where they're going to go. And I spoke with a local salon owner, Betty Cooks, who says she has many questions now.
And by the way, the Fillmore is not notoriously a super bad area. I used to love going to the Fillmore. Like the Fillmore itself is a great venue to see a show, and it's right near Japantown. And man, I remember back in like 2002, something like that. My girlfriend's kid's sister had tickets to a Black Eyed Peas concert. This is before they were all famous. I think it might even been before Fergie had joined. This might have been like 99 or something like that, 2000. And I drove all the way there. There was a show at the Fillmore. We dropped her off, and me and my girlfriend just went and, spent the night in San Francisco. Not the night. We like hung out, waited for a girlfriend, or her and her kid sister and her friend enjoyed the concert. We went back and picked them up. We went to a Denny's in Japantown. It was immaculate. It was the nicest freaking Denny's you'd ever go to. It was spotless. Like the ambiance was fantastic. It was in some mall in Japantown. It was insane, but yeah, the Fillmore's not a bad area. Sorry, I keep too much caffeine. Sorry, guys.
Betty Cooks has been the owner of Joanne's Beauty Salon since 1976.
They did all that remodeling. What for? To close down? They wasted money.
And she says losing her local Safeway is going to make life difficult.
It's like you need a grocery store more than you need more housing right in this little area.
Betty tells me that majority of her neighbors are senior.
I'm sorry, you guys, but she kind of sounded like Herbert the Pervert to me. You guys know from Family Guy, Herbert the Pervert. Who wants to guess how many Tylenol PMs I got in my pocket? That's what she sounded like to me. I'm sorry.
Who solely rely on the major grocery store.
Because everybody don't drive. Some people are too old to drive.
Mayor London Breed says this change is an opportunity to add a significant number of new homes in this part of our city. And although we are losing a grocery store in the community, there is also a new Trader Joe's opening nearby and an opportunity for a new market on site. And we also asked for more clarification if this new housing development would offer affordable housing, but we haven't heard back yet.
Mr. Mandela.
Crypto Bear Max, you know what grocery store I used to love in Southern California was Fresh and Easy. I don't know if they still exist. I lived in Upland for 2 years. I used to work in Santa Monica and Pasadena. Yeah, I drove all the way from Upland to freaking Santa Monica every day. That was rough. But I loved Upland. Upland was beautiful. I loved that place. But yeah, Fresh and Easy. I liked that grocery store.
When it came.
And current NAAC president for San Francisco, Dr. Reverend Amos Brown says the closure is history repeating itself in the Fillmore, and it's creating a food desert.
This community has been economically deprived for over 50 years. And it's time now that we stop this kind of exclusionary, gentrifying activity.
And Reverend Brown says he's worked in the past with Safeway regarding safety and crime, and shares this closure is coming as a surprise.
Thought we were friends. We thought we were neighbors. But this does not exhibit at all.
And Betty,
we thought we were friends. Well, then why'd you... Dude, if Safeway is your friend, you should acknowledge that your friend is being repeatedly stolen from. And your friend is probably telling you, hey, man, yeah, if people keep stealing from me, I'm not going to be able to stay open. And it sort of feels like this is a one-sided friendship.
hopes that Safeway will listen to the neighbors' request.
I think you should stay there and think about the community too. Because, I mean, I don't know why you closed it. I can imagine the rules that.
You don't know why they're closing. Because they're losing money. Because that's the way the world works. That's the way everything works. Because we don't live in a communist society where the government provides everything for you. That's why they're closing, because they can't make money anymore, because everyone keeps stealing from them. That's why they're closing. God, why can't people make these connections? It's infuriating. I don't understand. Oh, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Here's another one. Here's another one that can't seem to connect the two dots. Let's listen to her talk about why she can't figure out why the Safeway is closing.
I'm here to speak about the closing of Safeway. I was deeply angered to hear about the sudden closure, because it is not only
sudden. She's deeply angered, you guys, because it was sudden. It came out of nowhere. No one could have seen this coming.
Unconscionable. It is cruel. It is mean. It is disheartening to think.
You know what's cruel and mean? Repeatedly stealing from the same people over and over and over and expecting them to just take it.
Think that we have to come here in 2024 to defend food justice.
Food justice. Is that what this is? This is food justice. Okay.
It is completely, when you look at the demographic of the people who live around that Safeway, it is a lot of seniors. Where are they supposed to shop? Where are they supposed to go? It is not only a grocery store, it is a pharmacy. It is a bank. And when I heard them reference that, I'm here to speak.
Yeah, danger. None of them are angry at the criminals. Nobody has mentioned. It boggles my mind. Nobody has made that connection. Like, I can't, you guys. How can you not? When stores are, I'm at a loss of words here. This is insane. How can you not make the connection? Like, everyone knows what's happening. Everyone knows what's happening in terms of just, you can walk into the store, grab whatever you want, and walk right out. And even if the cops do bust you, you're not going to jail. It's a misdemeanor. And nobody. So I don't even blame the criminals. Danger. I don't blame the criminals. They're allowed to do it. Why would they pay for it? It's if you live like a shameless lifestyle, if you don't have any shame, yeah, why would you pay for stuff if there's no repercussions for stealing? Yeah, if you have no shame, why would you? That's it. The people to blame are San Francisco, well, California. Actually, in this case, it's California voters. California's voters voted for this. This wasn't something done by the state assembly and the state senate. This was California's voted in Prop 47. So I don't know how to get that back on the ballot in terms of repealing Prop 47. I don't know what I have to do. I know I should probably know that as a candidate for state senate, but that would be one. Actually, I should make that just my number one priority. First thing we do is figure out how to get rid of Prop 47. So yeah, if you guys want to help me with that, help me figure that one out. How do we do that? Let's do that. Let's get rid of Prop 47. So nobody's blaming that. Nobody seems to blame the laws that are allowing all this. So yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. California. Good old California. Bay Area. That is that's how we do things here, folks. That's how we do things here. All right. I think that's all I got for the night. I think that is all I am going to get into for this evening. So, Casey Martin, V1800, Cetro Spotlight. I said your name, Casey Martin. Dwayne, MD, Danger, B Sizzo, Crypto Bear Max. All you guys. If I didn't say your name, if I missed you, I apologize. Thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. Let's see, Whiskey Reaper. Oh, yeah, there you are. Whiskey Reaper, I've been checking out, I think it was you. I've been checking out Salty Cracker stuff more because of you. So yeah, thanks for telling me about him. I hear, what's his name? Sticks, Hex, and Hammer talking about Salty Cracker. So, but I'd never started actually checking his stuff out until you told me about him. So yeah, thanks for telling me, man. Let's see. Crypto Bear Max, yes, I was. I was born in Los Gatos, California, man. Born at Good Samaritan, born and raised in San Jose. Well, born in Los Gatos, raised in San Jose. Yeah, I've been here all my life. I've never left California. I lived in Southern California for about 2 years. Other than that, I've been here. I've lived all over the Bay Area. I've lived in Walnut Creek, lived in Hayward, Castro Valley, San Leandro, San Jose, Santa Clara. Yeah, just all over the place. Now I'm in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Santa Cruz Mountains are my home. I grew up hiking around in these mountains, camping in these mountains. This was sort of my happy place. This is where my dad used to take us camping at Butano State Park every summer, and grew up hiking at Castle Rock and stuff like that. So home is where the heart is, you know. Oh, you're raised in Pacifica? Pacifica's freaking, you must be well to do there, Crypto Bay Max. Pacifica I love Pacifica. It is the way the fog is always. Yeah, I love Pacifica so much. Such a beautiful, beautiful area. The first race I ever did, Crypto Bear Max, was at Purisma Creek. You probably know that place, Purisma Creek Open Space Preserve. That was my first half marathon that I ever run, and it destroyed me. That race kicked my butt. It was terrible. It started up on Skyline, so you start at the top and run down. The whole last part of the race was uphill. It sucked. So, all right. Salt Reaper on X. Oh, is that what he is? Salt Reaper on X. Okay. Casey Martin, Woodside. I've done the Crystal Springs Marathon, and I've done there's one called the Whistle Punk. There's Whistle Punk the Deuce. There's the Crystal Springs Marathon, and then there's the Whiskey Hill race. So those are the races that I do out there in that area. I love Woodside. I love Purisma Creek. I love, I love the Redwoods. Santa Cruz Mountains, man. I love this place. I know these trails like the back of my hand. I travel long distances by foot, so this is my home, you guys, and I never want to leave this place. And I feel that I am going to have to leave if I don't get elected. I don't even really know how I'm going to keep the roof over my head for the next year. So I really don't, you guys. I've burned through my entire life savings. I'm number 8 on the books. Fingers crossed. Like, if I can get a union call, I can at least get some work to keep some money in my pocket while I'm I'm running for office. I painted myself into a corner, guys. So it's going to be interesting this next year. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very challenging. It's going to be very difficult, but you guys make it worth it. You really do. Your support, you guys hanging out with me and talking, just sort of bouncing ideas around. It really helps. And if I do make it into office, you guys are going to be able to help me. I mean, make the right decisions. Really, I plan to keep this podcast going and talk about things that are happening in our state legislature and be open about it, you know? So, all right, you can get me a good job in Southern California. Well, I'm up here, man. Like, this is, I wasn't really a SoCal person. I didn't like it when I was down there. All my friends are here. My family's here. I felt very out of place there. I didn't feel welcome there. Not saying that I wasn't. I just didn't feel welcome there. That wasn't a great time of my life. I love Pasadena, though. I absolutely love Pasadena. And Upland's beautiful. Anyway, all right. I think that's it. Yep, I think that is it for the evening, folks. All right. Symbolic Tea. Nice to see you. Goat Cheese Millennial. Thanks for popping in and saying hi. Symbolic Tea, LA Mayor is a nut job. Yes, I agree. Yeah, Goat Cheese Millennial. Yeah, I know. 6:30, you guys. 6:30 is when I normally stream. I might push it back to 7. I might start pushing the show back to 7, but 6:30 every night, but Saturday is what I try to do. Sometimes if there isn't a lot going on, I don't like to do a show where I don't have anything to talk about. So I won't do a stream if there's just nothing going on, but I try to do a stream every night, but Saturday. All right. You can get me 6 figures. Well, I'm running. I appreciate it, Crypto Max. I really do. I really appreciate it. If I get a union call, I mean, that is a 6-figure job. It's like $108,000 a year as a sound and communications guy. So it's, I'm number 8 on the books. I was number 38 on the books, months and months and months ago. So fingers crossed, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. believe it or not, this is starting to, it doesn't make me enough money to pay the bills by any stretch, but this is my career now, this podcasting and finding out what's going on and talking about it on X. That pays me a tiny bit of money. This pays me a tiny bit of money. I wake up at 6 every day and I'm on it. So, all right. Yeah, this is what I do. This is what I do now, folks. Okay. If you're still here, tap that like button if you could, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to support the show, there is a Give, Send, Go link in the description below. You can also tap the link next to my name. Everything is much appreciated. All right, folks. Before we get out of here, you know how we do it. We got to tell a joke from the greatest book ever written, The Truth About Chuck Norris. Let's see what we have tonight. Let's see. All right. Anything else, you guys? Let's see. Crypto Bear, I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I will be back tomorrow night. Who knows what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, but here is the Chuck Norris joke of the evening. You guys ready? Here it is. Chuck Norris can travel through time by running at 88 miles per hour. And on that note, stay CaliBased. You're not going to get that one if you guys aren't old like me. Have a good night, everybody.